Angry guy here, and today we're discussing why women can't stop blaming men. Women can't stop blaming men. Despite everything that has happened, they continue to blame men for the relationship between men and women collapsing. And we are going to analyze the reasons why this is happening and what it means for the future. Watch the next video to fully understand why women can't stop blaming men, what this means for the future, and how things are going to look forward going forward. Don't forget to follow us over on Rumble. Our Rumble is linked in the description of the video. And guys, don't let them tell you that you will own nothing and be happy. Go and check out Angry's Crypto Academy to learn how to buy, sell, trade crypto while making massive profit. It's also linked in the description of the video. And now let's go ahead and jump right in. So guys, women are still blaming men, and it's pretty terrible. It's pretty terrible that they're still blaming men for everything that is happening, and men are done being their whipping board. We actually have a video from Manosphere Highlights Daily. We'll be watching in a little bit, and his channel is also linked in the description, so you can go check him out and support him. I mean, guys, if we don't stop this, if we don't do something to address the situation, it's only going to continue going worse from here. What I've said this plenty of times, that when it came to feminism, and specifically Me Too, women scorched the earth, and now they're dancing in the ashes. They can't stop. You have to understand, when it comes to the relationship, women cannot stop themselves. They cannot control themselves. They cannot control even in the face of logic and reason. Women can give you a logical answer for why something is happening, and then turn around and blame something else for as the cause. They can tell you the facts. They can tell you the literal facts, essentially confirming what the cause is, and then they'll listen to their emotions and choose something that is absolutely not the cause, because it validates their emotions. Because if they listen to the facts, that means accountability, and having to take accountability for the decisions that they've made and the things that they've done. So even when women will present the actual facts to you and confirm the actual facts, they will then choose feelings. They will then deflect and push it onto someone else, to men, because no matter what, they cannot take accountability, because for them, accountability is the end of the world. Women, it's a very childish way of viewing reality, but it's just the way that people that they operate. And unless men actually hold them accountable, they will never hold themselves accountable, because they are not wired in that way. And it's unfortunate. I usually have a morning video for you guys, but I was just kind of fucking tired. I was tired. I had to go. I had a doctor's visit yesterday. I dropped 2 videos for you guys yesterday. 3 videos. Somehow I dropped 3 videos for you guys yesterday, because I had worked on the first video, and then I worked on the second video, and then I somehow I worked on the first video and the second video, and then I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'm awake. Why don't I just, do a live stream? So I did an angry in the morning stream for you guys, and and you ended up with technically 3 videos yesterday. But yeah, and that reminds me, yeah, this is, I forgot to add it to the end of this video, but this is angry in the morning. Let me go ahead and put that in there. I just updated the title for you guys. This is your angry in the morning stream. Angry in the morning. Hold on. I wonder. Let me see. Let's see. I wonder if we can create a prompt. All right. Create a prompt. So I'm thinking, like, should we create like an image for this? In the morning stream. Yeah. So I went over to Grok. I use Grok for a lot of things, and I'm going to see if we can create. Let's see if we can create maybe a logo quickly for the angry in the morning stream. Like, I don't know what it's going to come up with. I honestly don't know what it's going to come up with. It seems interesting to me. Okay, it should be a logo. It should be a logo with the words "angry in the morning." That's all right. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, guys, it's crazy how things are working with modern women. Like it's not going to stop. They're going to keep on pushing until. I mean, right now there's pretty much nothing left. The relationship is pretty much kaput, and they're still going because of the way that we are wired. Basically, men have to understand we are the adults. We are the adults in the relationship. We will always be the adults in the relationship, and that's really what it is. Let's see if we can listen to. Let's go ahead and see if we can check out some of the Manosphere highlights video. Let me see here. Where the hell is it? Where is the Manosphere highlights video? Oh, I know what's going on. I ran into the same problem yesterday. I just remembered I literally ran into the same problem yesterday with the ran into the same problem yesterday with the when I was trying to show you guys the what's that guy's name? Asmon Goldstream. It was the file type. I had an issue with the file type, and yeah, well, fuck it. We'll just do a screen share. I'll have to find some workaround eventually for this because this is not optimal. All right.
This event is dating for professionals. Why was that something that you were attracted to?
Because I don't want to go on a date with a bum.
Right there. That's the standard. Elite, not a bum. Keep that in mind because everything that follows comes back to that. This episode of The Guardians, The Global Dating Crisis, is titled, Has the Manosphere Ruined Dating? So before the conversation even starts, they already picked the villain.
That's what you should be doing in your early 20s.
I honestly think it's the rise of like all these men that do these like podcasts and all that sort of thing, and then they're telling other men this is what girls want. They want a provider, they want this and they want that. But as far as I'm concerned, I've never seen any girls podcasts which have like said that. It's all just men telling men what they should be or what kind of man they're supposed to be.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So much. You were so good. We've cracked it because she just confirmed it.
Listen to this. Men are opting out because of podcast, and the journalist says, we've cracked it. Case closed. Investigation over. That's not journalism. That's confirmation bias.
I'm surprised by how many young heterosexual men I've met who sign up to the idea that they need to improve before dating. To get a broader view on why men and women seem to be moving apart, I'm speaking to Sarah Hill, an evolutionary psychologist. We've heard the headlines that young people are dating less, they're having less sex, they're not forming relationships in the same way. What would be some of the main reasons you would see for this shift?
Women are outpacing men in achievement. So women are graduating from high school at greater rates, they're graduating from college at greater rates, they're going to college at greater rates, they're entering the job force in greater numbers. And this poses a challenge because many women tend to be hypergamous.
What?
Because many women tend to be hypergamous.
Not many women are hypergamous. Framing it that way makes it sound like a personality trait, something some have and others don't, like liking yoga or pineapple on pizza. It's women in general. It's rooted in female nature and consistent across cultures.
Meaning that they want to mate upward. So they want to be involved in long-term relationships with people who have at least as much education and at least as much earning capacity as they have themselves. What this does is it creates this very small pool of men that are potentially sort of appropriate mates for a woman who wants to mate with somebody who's at least at her same level. And so there's a shortage of these men. And so a lot of women, especially accomplished women, feel very frustrated.
Now, here's where it gets interesting because the psychologist doesn't mention podcast. She mentions education, income, and hypergamy. Women want a man on their level or higher. But if more women are leveling up, then by definition, fewer men qualify. That's not the manosphere. That's math. Think about it. If the pool of acceptable men gets smaller while expectations stay the same or increase, what do you get?
So as you guys notice, I just put the logo on the screen for you guys. Just put the logo on the screen. I don't know if you guys like the anger. I don't know if you guys like that. All right, angry guy. There you guys go. So that I just created the logo for the Angry Guy podcast. I don't know. I just angry in the morning. It's angry in the morning. I don't know. It looks all right. It looks all right. I have like a couple different I can choose from, but I think that's one of the preliminary ones that I was working on. Just wanted to show you guys what I'm kicking around. When I'm kicking angry in the morning, angry angry in the morning. I've got another one also. Another one I just generated. It's so amazing how tech actually works, because like you can put together something in literal seconds too. So like I just got another one I put together for you guys. But like that's the first one. I know it kind of looks a little off because it has the words twice on there. Let's try this. Let's put a okay. Let's put another one in there for you guys. I want to just delete that. All right, delete that. And then here's another one. Here's another one for you guys. So it's similar. There you go. Angry in the morning. I don't know. That's what I angry in the morning. Let me know if you guys like that. I'll keep working on it and trying to refine it for you guys. But yeah, that's what we have for the moment.
Frustration, not just for women, for men too.
And what happens is this very small pool of accomplished men. A lot of these men are choosing to just date casually for a really long time because they don't have any constraints on their fertility.
And the psychologist even says it. The men who do qualify, they are not rushing to commit because they don't have to. So now you've got a small group of men with many options and a large group competing for them. And somehow that's the manosphere's fault.
Some of the sentiment that we've heard from young guys, it was this. I don't think you have this phrase in America, but the phrase is like, I can't be asked. I'm just out of it. I can't be bothered. I don't have any motivation. And I just found that really sad, basically.
I don't like to be one of those people who blames everything on our smartphones. When you get rewards without effort, it's just like dopamine hits without any effort. Dating is effortful. I mean, it's hard.
Here's where the spin comes in. Now it becomes.
So, I mean, there you guys have it. So what do? They always go back. They always go back to blaming men. They always 100% go back to blaming men and saying men are responsible for shit. And it's like it's such a childish way of looking at things. Like, okay, so women are not dating because of hypergamy, right? And all of these other things. But in the end, we need to go back to blaming men, because if we blame ourselves, then that means that we're the ones responsible for this happening, and we can't do that because we're women. And it's always going, guys. It's called plausible deniability, because I told you guys I studied PUA. I did the whole PUA thing many years ago. All right, did the whole PUA thing, and it's literally just it's plausible deniability. That's how women think. That's how women operate. They operate based on the concept of plausible deniability. They are never going to take accountability for what they're doing. They're never going to take accountability for the things that they say. They're always going to blame men. They're always going to try to hold men accountable. And you could see it. You could see it in the eyes and the behavior. And this is a psychologist. Imagine being a boy going to one of the guys. You're not being. You have to understand, as a man, you will never be treated fairly by a woman. You will never be treated fairly by women. You'll be gaslit. Guys, shame, insults, guilt, gaslighting. I mean, it's such a disgrace. This is why, as guys, you have to prioritize yourself, your own well-being, and you have to go where you're appreciated and celebrated. And another thing is that when it comes to like these simps, they'll come to the channel, happy wife, happy life. These guys are so full of shit. Let me explain something about a relationship. In a relationship, you own everything. So, for example, you're the king of the castle. When I say you're the king of the castle, this is why marriage, you should never, ever sign your name to a contract. If you're in a relationship with someone, you need to have it in writing. You need to make it very, very clear. I own everything, and like, this is my home. This house, I own the house. Okay? I own the house. I own the house. I own everything in the house. The All of the money is mine. My money is my money. Okay? My money is like, if we're not married, my money is my money. Okay? My money is my money. Your money is your money. But if we're in a relationship, you're going to contribute to this relationship. But don't ever get it twisted. I own this house. This property belongs to me. This home belongs to me. The dog belongs to me. Everything in here belongs to me. This is mine. This is my empire. I allow you to live in my empire. Okay? That's the order of operation that you have to establish when you're in a relationship. You have to make it very clear. You own this shit. You run this shit. Okay? And she's not taking anything with her. Okay? She could take a suitcase. She can if you're in a relationship with a woman and you're in a committed relationship, like I said, never get married. Never get married. But if you're in a committed relationship and you're living together and whatever, basically the rules of the relationship is this: you leave with what you came with. If she came into the relationship with a suitcase, she leaves with that damn suitcase. She's not leaving with half your bank account. She's not leaving with a car. She's not leaving with any of that. She will leave the relationship what she walked into the relationship with. Okay? What's hers is hers. What's yours is yours. And if marriage were to ever make a return, one, marriage would have to be established that it's literally between men and women without the intervention of the state, and that's never going to happen, which is the reason why formal marriage, why legal state-based marriage just doesn't work. And to be very honest, historically, people did not formally get married. There was no formal marriage in the past where I'm going to go and get married, and not. I mean, for most of human history, people did not get formally married. What ended up happening was marriage was something reserved for kings and queens and nobles. Basically, that kind of marriage. There was no government binding legal marriage for much of human history. Okay? Because when the state gets involved, that's when everything goes downhill. And when legal marriage did exist, until, like, look at the Roman Empire, men had complete control over the children, over the wife, and he had complete control. She didn't, like, everything, it was when they introduced no fault divorce and she could start taking half of his shit and all and running off with gladiators. That's when everything went to hell. Before that, the state had very limited involvement in relationships between men and women in marriage. The man controlled everything in the relationship. Anything that the woman did, she had to get permission from the husband. All right? Everything was controlled by the man. And let me tell you something, it worked better that way. It really did. It honestly worked better that way. But everything always goes downhill because when the state wants more control, what it does is it uses the women to control the men. I've said this before. If you want to control guys, if you want to control the men, use the women to control the men. I've said this again. If you want to destroy a country, destroy the men. If you want to destroy the men, use the women to destroy the men. And if you want to destroy the women, let the women destroy themselves. That's the order of operations. Okay? Women basically operate as agents of the state, and they are rewarded by the state for reallocating wealth and resources from men and to the state. If they fail to do that, then they are not rewarded. Simps are also rewarded. Simps are also agents of the state, and they are rewarded for helping to reallocate wealth and resources from men to the state, and they do this through demoralization, through betrayal of masculinity, and through siding with women and the state. This is how simps operate. It's their survival strategy, and in return, they are given access to resources, spaces, and women. So because simps basically get access to resources and spaces that would traditionally, and jobs, things like that would traditionally only be allocated by the state to women. So, for example, like men that betray simps, they betray men. They basically also become a form of DEI hires. They are now allowed into spaces that are typically only allocated for women, members of specific protected groups. You understand what I'm meaning? And then they also get a seat in there because they are allies. You understand? So everyone's getting a cut. The whole goal is to go after heterosexual males, reallocate wealth and resources from us to the state. So it's all about control. We basically operate as we're basically treated like prisoners. The other side, they're treated like property. They think that they're free. No one is actually free. Everyone is being controlled, and they're using one group to control the other group, one side to control the other side. But women don't understand that they don't have power, they have privilege. Okay? If you don't have the ability to exert control using your own two hands, you don't have power, you have control, you have privilege. And women don't understand that those privileges can be taken away at any given moment. Any given moment. I've been ranting and raving for a while now. Let me see. Let's look at some of the comments. Ray says they achieved being a slave to the system. Absolutely. We see here. Shout out to Brandon. Brandon says it's like their fixation to destroy a man and act innocent in the public eye. That's all there is. And guys, the consequence, I told you there, I said this already. The fall is here. God allowed them to reach the highest mountain so that they could fall from the highest peak. Okay? Then that's what we are going to witness now. Brandon says, Happy Friday, by the way, Master Angry. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it. I was literally, like I said, I had a doctor's visit yesterday. I had to stay up until in the evening, and I couldn't eat because I had to get blood work done. And then I even tossed it into another Angry in the Morning stream. So I was like super tired, and I was like, what the heck? And I was like, I woke up like last night, and then I was like, I could go. I didn't even by the time I woke up and realized it was time, I was like, oh, it's already like 5 a.m. and I'm like, fuck, I'm not gonna go make another video right now. So you didn't get your morning video, but then I was like, you know what if I give them a morning stream? So I started thinking about that almost 2 hours ago, but then it ended up still taking me another hour to actually execute. But here we are with your Angry in the Morning stream, because I've been doing premieres for you guys. So it's very much like a premiere, except I'm here and I'm actually interacting directly with you guys in the comments, talking shit with you, and there you go. Oh my gosh. Got some people complaining about my daily streams, daily videos. Gallant dropped a 5. Let me see. Gallant dropped an absolute 5. Thank you very much. So I have a hard time. Let me see your banners, comments, widgets. Yeah, unfortunately, it's hard to get them unless it shows up in Rumble, and it typically doesn't. I can't put I can't put them on the screen. But Gallant did just drop a 5. Dropped a 5 super. So thank you so much, Gallant, for dropping that super. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, he did just drop a 5 super. So appreciate that, bro. Thank you so much for that. Shout out to everyone listening on Rumble. Shout out to the Rumble heads. Shout out to the Rumble heads. Let me keep going. Oh my gosh. Yeah, VZ is complaining about my videos. He's calling them slop. Ray says that the whole human race / planet Earth has generated slop. Let me see here. VZ says, from a very young age, women are taught to hide their true intentions and speak in euphemisms. They absolutely are, but they are also that's something that not only are they taught to do this, guys. If you look at little girls do this. They literally at 1 year old, 2 years old, they will argue this way. It's their biology. It's not so much that they're taught to do this as much as that it's their instincts to do this. This is how they are wired. BZ says they're masters at this. We can't compete. I absolutely agree. I absolutely do agree. We can't compete with that, which is the reason why the only thing to do is to not argue, and to walk away. Like that's guys, like basically you stay in your own lane. And when it comes to women in Western society, we're in completely opposite, we're going in opposite directions. So the only way for you to succeed is to walk away. Go where they are fit, feminine, friendly, and agreeable. Okay? What I was thinking about this earlier, that when you're choosing a relationship, you're not supposed to look for a moral woman, because a lot of these men were like, oh, I went to the church and I went and found that I thought I was finding a moral woman who was guided by God, and now I'm fucked because she ended up being worse than most of the worldly women out there. She took half my shit and destroyed my name and all this, and what am I supposed to do? And it's like, and then and the relationship was completely empty. Like I was like for like 20, when we were together for like 20 years, and there was virtually no intimacy in the relationship for 20 years. And I did everything right. We had marriage counseling with the pastor, and I was a virgin when I got married too. Like I was really true to God. And this is what happened. Yeah, because you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. In fact, you believe that you thought she was a virgin when you married her too. She told you she was a virgin. She wasn't. She wasn't. All right. Now you want to come listen to Uncle Angry. You treat Uncle Angry like he's a hedonist. You treat Uncle Angry like he's a fucking hedonist. And now look at you. You're sorry sap of shit. All right, because now you're fucked. You lost half your shit. You're living in your car. You're broke as fuck. Your kids won't speak to you because they all think you're a bastard because of the shit that she told them. And now you want to come to Uncle Angry. Uncle Angry, I lost everything. The court even took my video games. I've been collecting that shit since I was a kid. They took my cards, even my Pokemon cards. Yeah, that shit's worth money, isn't it, bitch? Uncle Angry, what did I do? I don't give a flying fuck. You didn't listen. You thought you were better than me, Bible bro. Okay? You said God was guiding you. I told you stay out of the church. I told you stay out of the fucking church. And God is guiding me. Okay, so what happened? You got fucked. So I guess it was God that guided you there, right? No, then who was it? The devil. Okay, but I thought you were listening to the pastor, and you listened to the pastor and the religion and everything. Oh, Uncle Angry, what do I do? You get fucked, bro. You get fucked, little bro. You didn't listen. You fucked around, and now you're finding out. That's how these things work with these men. So yeah, you don't look for a woman you don't look for a moral woman. You look for a woman based on her culture, because most of these so-called moral women, it's moral on the surface, informal in private, like not very immoral in private. Like it's like a nice paint. Like there's a nice paint on the outside, but the true person is that you're dealing with hypergamy. You're dealing with a person pretending to be someone that they're not. That's really, I've said this before, and I said stay out of the church. Stay out of the church. I said church lady is just another name for 304. Pastor is just another name for pimp. Church is just another name for state. Very often the church is just an extension of the state, and in some cases the state was just an extension of the church. And for different points in human history, the church actually ruled over the state, or in some cases the state tried to rule over the church, and the state exerted dominance over the church. But most of the time, it was the church that exerted dominance over the state. This is how most of human history worked. All right? And I tell you, stay away from the church. The church of Jesus Christ is not a place, it is not a building, it's not a religion. It is a gathering of believers in Christ. And where 2 or 3 are gathered, let there be God. Which means that even by yourself, because there are many points in our lives when we will not be able to be with others, and we will be separated from others, it does not matter, because when we are speaking to God, we are in the presence of God, hence we are in church. I said it plenty of times that most of you that still go to the church, you have no business in there, and you have no fucking business in there. You know it. You know that. You know God isn't in there. And you should be fucking ashamed of yourselves. Because there's a lot of you listening to me right now, and you're still going to the church. And you have no business in the church. You'd be better off in a whorehouse than going to the church. You're going to the church for community and entertainment. You're going there because you're lonely and because you're bored. All right? And that's absolutely terrible. That's horrible. When you go to a brothel, when you go to a whorehouse, you know what? Everyone knows what they're doing there. No one's confused, okay? No one's confused what they're doing there. When you go to the church, it's all pretend. It's all one big illusion done in the name of God. You've got to be fucking. How many baby boomers? How many baby boomers had the whole God fearing God fearing Christian image while they were at home, like just laying into their fucking kids, like really like harsh corporal discipline, nasty fucking people, evil fucking people. The church was basically nothing more than a cover for all the bullshit they were doing. All right, just down, and then and these are people who had second like second and third families. All right, they were stealing. They were stealing they were all getting their cut from the church. It was theft. These people were horrible people. The so-called God-fearing Christians. Well, guys, no more. We're done. Guys, we're done. The era of forgiveness is over. Now is the era of find out. Fuck around is over. Find out has arrived. That's really what's up. Oh man, I'm streaming again. I'm streaming again from my desktop. I was worried. I'll be honest with you guys. I was so worried about this setup because like I've got my studio microphone and everything, and it's a nice setup. It's a powerful device. I was so worried because I spent like 4K to 5K building this shit, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to justify spending that kind of money for a setup like this. But no, it's working out. It's good. It's fucking good. It's good. Oh my gosh, I tell you, fucking tell you, this fucking world, and these motherfucking people. Oh my fucking gosh, That's a New York. That's a New York accent for you. That's a fucking New York accent for you. There you go. Put some of the stream back on. You see here. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. I say fuck it. We can jump back into the video in a moment. Let's read some more fucking comments. Let me read some more fucking comments from you motherfuckers. All right, you guys always have something to say. Ashy Negroes in the comments. Shout out to Ashy. He says marriage is a financial control alt deletion run. I hear you. I really agree with you on that, man. If I live on Rumble, I'd put your comment on the screen. Let me see here. Jason says marriage used to be between a man, a woman, and God. Now it's the state in place of God to make sure the guy gets robbed when the divorce comes. Absolutely. And that's what people don't understand. They don't understand that it's the state is the controlling party in there. All right. The state controls that relationship, and the woman operates as an agent of the state in that relationship. And the job of the woman in the relationship is to reallocate wealth and resources from the man back to the state. They are in cahoots. But let's be clear, they are not equal partners. She works for the state. The state does not work for her. It's an illusion that she actually has control over the state. She does not. Okay? The relationship is nothing more than a person than a tradesman with a tool. Let me see here. Brandon says, I did on my own terms, and what I say goes. Even though my dad raised me, he gave me bad advice, and he was a simp. I saw through his bullshit at an early age. That's what's up. That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. Most baby boomer men were simps, and it's like Aaron Clary, I think Clancy says. He says that they really loved the boomer guys. They really loved Kitty. They really, really loved Kitty. They loved that shit more than they loved their kid. They didn't love their kids. They had their kids for selfish reasons. Most of us were backshot babies. Okay, there we go. The fuck? That's so interesting. All right, so Ashley says it already was too dangerous, but now they're out here spreading the high five like wildfire. So they say, yeah, guys, Houston, after what they did in Houston, like you guys probably heard about Houston, like the high rates of of stuff going around in Houston. After that, yeah, don't. It's like I lived overseas. I love this comment from Ash. He says regarding the Sims who didn't listen, should have listened, little bro. Now get the fuck out. Angry. Should have listened, little bro. Now get the fuck out. I should put that on a t-shirt. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Tris says, hello, Mr. Angry. I appreciate your content. Thank you for your time. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. Brandon says, Master Angry, I act so much like Solid Snake for Metal Gear Solid, and your advice always helps me more. Always learning and applying these things to my life. That's what's up, bro. Shout out to Brandon. Brandon has been a consistent subscriber for years, and I'm telling you, the manners on Brandon are unspeakable. Like, they are unimaginable. Like, dude has amazing manners. Amazing manners. Something we don't see in society much anymore. Gallant says, women like a gift from your grandma. Pretty package, but has socks inside. Oh shit. I love that. I love that. I love that. Gallant says, that's some truth about religion. It really is, isn't it? Brandon says, the church is the slaughterhouse for gullible sheep. My niece and nephews need to listen to Uncle Brandon when I tell them this. They really do. They really, really do. Ashley says, I don't need some dickhead cause COS playing as a man of God telling me I need to be a simp and misrepresenting the Bible. That's exactly, guys. Don't forget that the Bible was reinterpreted by a guy named Schofield, like in the late 1800s. He was an atheist. He was an atheist that evidently had this sudden awakening to God, and he basically created the Schofield Reference Bible that was then widely circulated in American society, even like global society, Christianity everywhere, and it basically changed the interpretation of the Bible. So the way that most people read the Bible today is based on the Schofield interpretation. And I'll have some boomers coming in and start attacking me immediately, like, oh, no, that's not true. Guys, these are corrupt people. A lot of them know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a means of controlling people so that you don't rebel against your masters. That's what it is. For example, when they say vengeance is of the Lord, they under the Schofield Bible, something like that would basically, that they would tell you that, oh, that means you're not supposed to take vengeance against those who do bad to you. God will do it for you. That's absolutely incorrect. What the Bible is actually telling you, think for yourself, is that God will allow vengeance to find those who do wrong. So God will allow you to take your vengeance against those who wrong you. Okay? Don't forget, I think it was in the Old Testament where it literally said an eye for an eye. All right. And then they tried to change it later on. An eye for an eye makes the world blind. Bullshit. Let me tell you something about people. Bad people. If you don't take action against these motherfuckers, for example, someone comes at you and they poke you in the eye and you lose an eye, and you think that, okay, I'm going to just turn the other cheek. They're coming for the next eye. They're coming for all your shit. Because they tested you one time, they saw that you're a pussy, so now they're going to come for the rest of it. Now they're going to come for the rest of that shit, all right? If you don't stand up for yourself, if you don't take both of theirs, then you're fucked. This is a cold motherfucking world, and you have to stand up for yourself. Forgiveness, no motherfucking mercy. Cobra Kai, okay? No mercy. No fucking mercy. Bob says meme coins are a better investment compared to modern relationships. I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Better return. Okay. Brandon says Houston and Atlanta are Resident Evil level hot zones. They are cooked. Guys, I was not paying attention. Like many of you guys know. Shout out to Gunfox. Said howdy angry. Oh shit. Yeah, he says, howdy, Angry. Able to catch one live. Yeah, I'm glad to have you here, bro. Glad to have you here. Glad you're able to catch it live. But yeah, so for those of you that don't know, evidently, to my understanding, there was this, spring break this past year happened in Houston, and there were crazy rates of people basically giving each other things, if you get what I'm saying. So, and like the nurses were giving, like, using codes like Houston, and like they were trying to like downplay it. The media or the public health officials were trying to say that these rates are always high every year. Guys, let me tell y'all something. Like, after the whole, like, people were like reporting like this one dude, evidently, I don't like, it's like, oh my gosh, oh my fucking guys, like, people were like getting everything in the book. Nah, bro, never again. Guys, I lived overseas for years. I lived in Mexico for a couple of years, and I'm going to tell you something. I never ever feared for my life and for my safety and my health the way that I do in the US. I have not been with anyone in years. Just being honest. Since coming back to the US years back, because I got sick, I had to come back. Since coming back to the US, no, I haven't been with anyone. I haven't fucked anything except my hand. And I'm telling you right now, it's the safest fucking bet. These motherfuckers, they are so nasty, so fucking dirty. Holy shit. Guys, I never, ever overseas was as scared for my health as I am in the US. And I haven't fucked anything in years, and I'm scared for my health. I haven't fucked any, let me repeat myself. I haven't fucked anything in years. All right? For how long has it been? It's been almost 6 fucking years. Almost 6 years. 6 years of celibacy. And I'm scared for my health. Scared for my health. And I've been tested since I've been back and everything. And I'm clean. But 6 years of health, guys. 6 years of celibacy. And I'm scared for my health. Like, I'm not, guys, I'm not, like, fuck that shit. If I fuck around, it's not gonna be in America. It won't be in America. Like, no, I don't think, like, it was already like almost like a 0 chance it would ever happen here. Like, I'd ever do it here. But like now it's like -15. Like, yeah, like I'm not, like, guys, I've said this before about America. America is a third world country wearing a Gucci belt. It's a third world fucking country wearing a Gucci belt. We only have the illusion of prosperity. When everyone has to use debt to survive, like, oh my gosh, you have iPhones. Look at all the prosperity that you have, and you don't even see it. Let me ask you something, motherfucker. You live over in a developing country. How much money do you make per month? Like, let's do a little bit of math. Some of you fuckers. How much money do you make a month? I make about $1,500 a month. Really? How much is your rent? My rent's about $300 a month. What about with utilities and everything else? Like, how much money? How much money are you spending for rent, utilities, your cost of food, everything? And they'll respond like everything, like my total monthly cost of living, probably around $600. So you make $1,500 a month. And what do you do are you a teacher or something? No. I have a basic job. I work at a barber shop or some shop. Okay, so you make like $1,500 being a barista or working at a barber shop or some other shit job, right? People who have degrees make more than that. But doing basically without a college degree or any of this shit, you're making like $1,500 a month. Your cost of living is around $600 a month. This includes the cost of your car insurance, all that other shit. And right, all your entire cost of living, food, apartment, everything, your TV, internet, all of that shit. All right. Do you have a nice house? You have a place to live? Yeah, I've got an apartment. It's all right. You have a television? I got a big screen TV. You got video games? Yeah, I got a gaming PC, or I got a place. That's all right. So you got all of this shit decked out. What kind of phone do you have? I have an iPhone, but it's expensive. I had to spend like $1,500 for it. Okay. Right? So you have, our $1,200. I'd spend like $1,200 for it. It's $800 in your country. I'd spend like $1,200. Okay. But so you spend $1,200 for a phone, but you have like $900 left over. So you have almost 2/3 of your fucking income left over at the end of the fucking month. You're living comfortably. You have everything that we have. Yeah, electronics cost more, but and how much debt do you have? How much student loans debt do you have? You have a college degree? Yes, I have my bachelor's. How much did you spend for that fucking degree? Oh, education is free here. What about medical bills? You have any medical bills? No. Healthcare is free here. Really, bitch? Because we have oh, and what about personal debt? No, I don't have any personal debt. I don't mess around with credit. Okay, so all of the shit that we have in America, it's on credit. We're buying food on credit. We're buying phones on credit. We're paying for healthcare on credit, and you get everything else for free, and you have the fucking nerve to run your motherfucking mouth about life is better in America. You fucking bastards. You fucking loser scumbags, all right? You act like America is so fucking wonderful, but you couldn't survive a fucking minute here. You're right? You would be homeless, on the street, destitute, crying for your mother, you motherfucker. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's the old school angry, right? That's the old school angry right there. That's that son of a bitch from 2016. Yeah, 2016, 20. That's that motherfucker. That's that motherfucker from the mid 2010s. That's that fucker right there. That's him talking. That's the old anger right there. Tell you guys, I should have been a fucking disc jockey. Should have been a fucking disc jockey. All right, I had the gift of gab, just talking fucking shit and inspiring people along the way. All right, I would have made so much fucking money if I had never went to college. And I'm a smart enough guy. I was a very technical guy, but I had all this fucking money, and I've been living this fucking life, just enjoying myself, traveling, remote work. Why did I ever get mixed up with the whole college thing? 25 fucking years. 25 fucking years to get out of student loan debt. And you know what? Thank God for that. Thank fucking God. I'm out of that fucking debt finally. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I know you guys don't usually hear me use my accent, but I don't give a fuck. I don't give a flying fuck. I'm just gonna enjoy myself right now. Some of my guys, I study comedy. I really study comedy hardcore. Not as much as I want to, but I did. I study a lot of the greats. My biggest inspirations in comedy are Bill. I don't want to say that fucking ginger's name. I learned from guys like Dane Cook, Dave Chappelle. What's his name? George Carlin is one of my biggest fucking inspirations. That old fuck. That's where I get some of my cynicism from. Oh my fucking gosh. Yeah. The New York, people often say the New York's accent is kind of like the Boston accent. I say, yeah, it's like, yeah, the Boston accent's kind of like the New York accent, except it sounds like shit. Yeah, there's a natural rivalry between the two groups. Natural rivalry. Let me look at some more comments. Gunfox says there are a lot of Sims out there still there now, and they are saying men need to save women from people attacking them and accept all the jail time, losing all your assets for the state. Yeah, we're not doing that. Absolutely stay away from that bullshit. Brandon says, Master Angry, these people going to Houston look like The Walking Dead. They fucked around Oh my fucking gosh, right you are. Right you fucking are. Right you fucking are. Ashy, I like this comment from Ashy. He says, I just watched documentaries on Uzbekistan and Laos. The U.S. is fucking garbage. Guys, these people, and the countries are so clean and the women are so clean. Guys, that's another thing. Like, the people are so clean. Like, even a lot, the places are just so much cleaner than America. America's so fucking dirty sometimes. You could just feel the dirt. The food is dirty. Everything is dirty. And dirty and such a fucking robbery. Gunfox says, angry, I cannot wait until I move to Japan. Ashley, sadly, the inflow and the simps that want to protect them. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah. Ashley says these women will leave you itching, burning, and broke. They absolutely will. That's a great way of putting it. Great way of putting it. Brandon says, Master Angry, you sound like Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman, ECW. ECW. Okay, Paul Heyman. He was the creative force and eventual owner of Extreme Champion Wrestling. I didn't know that. I did not know he's one of the people who who helped create ECW, transforming it from a struggling affiliate into a cult phenomenon. Originally hired in 1993 as the bookkeeper for Eastern Champion Wrestling, he assumed full creative control after Eddie Gilbert's departure, rebranding the promotion as ECW in 1994 and purchasing the company in 1995. That's started as a bookkeeper. That's pretty awesome. That's a great story. And he's only 60 years old. Holy shit. So I assumed he was a boomer. He's actually a Gen. He looks like a boomer. He looks kind of fucking old, but he's actually a Gen X. He was born in 1965. So he's the first year of Gen X. That's a nice story right there. He's the first year Gen X. Wow, he signed. Okay, he is signed to WWE, where he performs as the on-screen manager of the Vision stable. What the hell? That's so holy shit. So that's insane. That's insane. He actually gave us he's partially responsible. He is responsible for ECW. I mean, he changed the name, so like he changed it from Eastern Champion Wrestling, so modern ECW. He is definitely responsible for transforming it into that. That's fucking sick. That's fucking sick. All right. Let me see here. Let's see here. You guys are fucking hilarious. Ashley says, Gunfox, I stay to myself. I'm basically a hermit now. I think that's how a lot of men are living. Sigma says, there are more American women who are serial accusers of the American men than men who are and men who are not very good. Let me see here. Gunfox says, I work and do my farming and a hobby, but I work out at home because the women at the gym are basically not properly dressed and just waiting for a guy to look in their general direction to get clicks. Absolutely agree with you. It's rude. It's very disrespectful. Sean says, Angry Sama speaks the truth. There we go. Sigma says, marriage is slavery for men. It's over. 100% agree. This is how a lot of men are feeling right now. Gunfox says, I would rather be in a combat zone than be in the US. Man, that's how a lot of men absolutely operate. Freddie says, let the pussification of America reign. I hate being gentrified and controlled when I am barely trying to work for my life. Yeah, it's nasty. Gunfox says, I went to the U.S. Army for 12 years, did trade school, and got my CDL and make more than your average college grad and have zero. Exactly. It's such fucking stupidity, bro. And I bet you guys, you went to trade school, so you have many more skills. You have many more skill sets than the average fucking idiot. And you know what's funny about that, dude? The average fucking idiot and their boomer parents will still sit around and say it's still important that you got your college degree. You're sitting there with $100,000 in student loan debt, and your stupid ass boomer parents will say it's still good that you got your college degree. It still got you to where you got to, and you know it's your fault if you're not doing well in life. It's your fault that you didn't use it properly. Guys, the baby boomers are the worst. They are such despicable motherfuckers. They are such despicable. Jamie says, hey, I agree. Are you ready for the aliens? Yeah, I'm pretty much. Yeah, guys, they're aliens. They're aliens. What I don't expect to actually see little green men, but yeah, they're aliens. We may get some disclosure this year. Guy, they're aliens. They've been like basically US, like I think it's like somewhere like 11 or 13 researchers, UFO researchers have passed away in just the last couple of years. They just found another one who was basically missing, and they found his Tesla burned and him in it. Yeah, guys. Yeah, they're alien. There's aliens. Basically, there's the upper part of the government. It's basically made up of the intelligence. It's made up of like military, the military industrial complex, probably Lockheed Martin, and various different groups within the intelligence agency, and they've basically been keeping this on their wraps. The whole Roswell thing was probably true, or a lot of it was true. They basically recovered. They recovered the they recovered technology that was not from this world, and they've been reverse engineering it for like literally the last like maybe 50, like 60, 70 years, or maybe, or like let me see, so let me check this out. When did Roswell happen? Let me check this out. When did Roswell happen? Yeah, it was in 1947. It was in 1947, July 1947. So it's been a pretty long time. It's been over like, what is that? That's over 70 years. That's well over 70 years. That's like almost 80 years ago. So it's been a very long time. Not quite 100 years, but it's been almost 80 years since that happened. So yeah, they definitely recovered some shit. If it wasn't if it wasn't exactly at that time, it could have even been sometime before that too. But yeah, they definitely recovered some shit during Roswell, and all of these agencies, they've been covering it up and reverse engineering that shit. And now they're like developing new shit like anti-grav. They're 100% working on things like anti-gravity and all kinds of other shit. And in terms of technology wise, like in terms of aviation tech, which is basically stagnated publicly, they're they are decades ahead. What they have right now is decades ahead. And there's a movie called Disclosure coming out from Steven Spielberg evidently this year, which I believe basically is what happens when the public finds out there really are aliens. In terms of like little green men, I don't think that there's actually any living little green men. I think they may have recovered the remains of these of the people, of the individuals that were in the in the ship, or the what was left of it recovered. It looks like it either got shot down, or they had some kind of accident. My guess is that it was like maybe a research vessel or something, and something went wrong. Like I said, they maybe like the U.S. government may have taken it down, and it ended up in the possession of the U.S. government. But the technology, they've basically learned from it. They've been reverse engineering it for decades, like the stealth bomber, like how you're able to like have this thing basically disappear and not appear on maps. Yeah, they've been reverse engineering this shit. And now when like 11 or 13 researchers have all basically, like, they literally said like, I did not control alt delete myself, and then they either vanish, or they end up like and the claim ends up coming out, oh, they control alt deleted. Yeah, it's been happening back to back rapidly. No, this is a load of bullshit. It's the aliens are real. Are There are aliens out there. Are we in active communication with them? We probably are not, but we definitely have their tech. Lockheed Martin has likely been working on this tech, been using, and they're the number one to because they're our biggest defense contractor. So they've been like reverse engineering this shit, and it goes above the office of the president. And like there was actually like someone who testified it before Congress, and he explained that there was this whole shadow group that was basically trying to keep all of this on their wraps. But yeah, it's all real. Aliens are real. We have alien tech. Don't expect to necessarily see it. There will probably be some little bit of acknowledgement, kind of like they'll dance around it. But yeah, the aliens are real. The aliens are real. As in say like, you heard it here from Uncle Angry first. Like, yeah, the aliens are real. Aliens are real. All right. me see here. Gun Fox says, angry. You let third worlders in, you become the third world. True. Mm-hmm. Sigma said to Ashy, it's over. The American men have awakened. 100% agree. Sigma says 1 in 3 women have a Sarah Thomas David. That's a pretty interesting statistic. I don't know if it's true, but it's crazy. Ashley says, Sigma, I know, it's great. Bring on Ted City. Sigma says women treat facts like hate. That is absolutely true. Let me see here. Yeah, Jamie says all those scientists getting Control Alt Delete it removed from this realm of existence. And David Wilcock. Yep. Let me see here. Sigma says women are nothing more than a helper to men in God's incubator to stitch a child in her womb when a man gives life. Stop listening to stupid little girls. 100%. 100%. They are helpers and they basically incubate life. That's it. They do not control you. They do not control your wealth. What do you guys think of the logo? I didn't see any comments about the logo, Angry in the Morning logo. I didn't see a single comment regarding if you guys like the logo up there, Angry in the Morning. Like, do you want me to keep using the logo? Do you want me to keep using that logo at the top right of the screen, Angry in the Morning? Do you want me to keep using it? Do you guys even like it? Sigma says, women say, where are all the good men? They are asking, where are the men to support happy wife, happy life? She wears the pants with her high body count. Oh shit. Let me see here. Sigma says, where are all the good men? Said by women with a body count of over 10. Guys, like 10 is like low these days. Like those are rookie number 10. Those are rookie numbers, sweetie. Those are rookie numbers. Those are rookie numbers. Like, like the average woman today has like a body count of 300. Like, you're like, Angry, are you insane now? No. The average woman today, is like a body count of like 100. A lot of them have a body count of like between 100 and 300. It's crazy numbers. Brandon says, I always call the baby boomers, the crybaby boomers, like The Rock called Cody Rhodes fans, Cody crybabies. Let me see here. Sigma says, men, the American women are not virgins. Do not marry an American woman who is not. Do not marry an American woman who is not a virgin. She will never appear bond with her man for a lifetime. If you want a wife and a child, get yourself get your passport. Yeah, do not mess around with American women. Period. Even if she is a virgin, don't mess with them, because they're basically trying. What they do is they try to leverage their virginity. Let me see this. God Fox says, angry. My dad did woodworking, and I remember him saying, "Do not go to college unless the job you want to do requires it. Even then, learn it yourself. College is a joke." And that was in the early 1990s. Your dad was smart. Your dad was a wise man with that. Wise man for that. Jason said 1947, boss. Yeah, Roswell was 1947. Sigma says, American women buy box wide, buy a cat, and pass away alone. 40 to 80 is a long time. Get up and get your ass to work. That's what you wanted. Yeah, they don't realize they're going to have to take all of these fucking jobs that men are leaving behind. Jamie says that I think most of them are still living. They just faked their passing and now working in secret bases. They've literally found They literally, they've literally found the remains of these people. These people are not alive. They unalive them, dude. They unalive these people. Like a lot of these people were like trying to they said that they were scared for their life and stuff like that. You think that they brought them to a secret base? Yeah, no, they unalived them. Maybe some of them faked it. Maybe some of them faked it, but most of them are unalive, dude. Most of them are unalived. Let me see here. Gunfox says that women should have to either sign up for women should have to either have to sign up for the draft or the 19 gets revoked 100%. And it's never good. This is it's that just shows how that just so shows how much of a misandrous society we live in. Jamie says the CIA paper tells it all that the TRB craft is one of re-engineering tech. There you go. There you go. Let me see here. Sigma said a male nurse quit his job because he didn't want to deal with the emotional toll with the outcome of paternity tests that the child was not the father's. That's so rough. 1 in 3 fathers' children are not his, and thought that they were. Get a paternity test, man. Yeah. That's why you're better off going overseas and having a kid with a Filipina or some woman in another country than doing it in America, because at least the chances that the kid is yours, even if the kid is like, it's at least the kid is yours. America, forget about it. Completely forget about it. These are very nasty, evil people that we're dealing with in Western society. Forget about them. Leave them to the streets. Leave them to the state. Leave them to the churches. All right, guys. They're standing right now. They are. I talked about it. I said that I called it like the Great Humiliation. I called it like the Great Humiliation, and I said that they would fall from they'd fall off their pedestals. All right, guys. They right now they ended up at the highest mountain. I said this. God allowed them to reach God allowed them to reach the highest mountain, so that God allowed them to reach the peak of the highest. Let me see. How did I put it? God allowed them to reach the top of the highest mountain so that they could fall from the highest peak. Okay? And that's the truth of reality. All right? Right now, they are falling back to earth, but they will never admit it because of their arrogance. They will never, ever admit it because of their arrogance. Arrogance and evil, arrogance and downright evil behavior. And they chose this for themselves. They chose this lifestyle for themselves. All right. No one forced it upon them. They chose this. Because you have to understand, they don't like us. That's why I said, if you're choosing a woman, don't choose a woman based on morality. Choose a woman based on culture. All right. You have to go where a woman where her culture is a good culture. That's what you have to do. You have to choose someone with a good culture, not just based on so-called morality, because culture dictates morals. Culture dictates our ultimate morality, and you're not going to find anyone in America that you can trust. It's just not going to happen. Even if you find someone decent in America, you still have to be so careful. I mean, there are some men who walk away from where they find a good woman and they walk away, and that's fine. But America is no place to raise a family, no place to raise children. It's a disgusting fucking place. It's a disgusting, tyrannical, godless society. That's the honest to goodness truth. Honest to goodness truth. It's sad, but it's true. And it's the reality that we are all forced to live in. Gunfox is angry. Where do you think the F-11, F-35, and F-22s come from? Also, some of the ships, some of the U.S. ships And why do you think China wants to steal U.S. tech all the time? Can you say also space shuttle? Yeah, I hear you, bro. I do hear you on that. I didn't even think about space. Can you say space shuttle? You're absolutely right. The aerodynamics for that. It's all a lunch. It's all a load of bullshit. All a load of bullshit. These people have been lying to us forever, and now basically the truth is starting to come out. Yeah, the F guys. For those of you that don't know what the F-117 is, that's the Nighthawk. And who developed it? The Lockheed F-117 Nighthawk was the world's first operational aircraft designed with stealth technology developed by Lockheed Skunk work to evade radar detection. Guys, where would they get this kind of technology from? It entered service with the United States Air Force in 1983 and was primarily used for precision strike missions against high-value targets. Production, a total of 64 aircrafts were built, consisting of 5 prototypes and 59 production models between 1981 and 1990. Performance, the aircraft is supersonic with a maximum speed of approximately 684 miles per hour, designed to minimize infrared and acoustic signatures, stealth features. Its faceted shape and radar absorbent material. How would they figure out how to create radar absorbent material? Known as RAM, reduced its radar cross section to roughly 0.001 m squared. Armament, it carried up to 5,000 pounds of internal stores, typically laser guided weapons like the GBU-27 with no air-to-air contact capacity. The cockpit, single seat cockpit, featured a heads-up display, a HUD, twin color multifunction displays, and an infrared acquisition and designation system. Guys, and then the F-17 saw combat in Panama in 1989, the Gulf War in 1991, Yugoslavia in 1999, Afghanistan in 2001, and Iraq in 2003. It was officially retired from active combat in 2008, primarily because its role was assumed by the more advanced F-22 Raptor and later by the F-35 Lightning II. And guys, a lot of these things, I think a lot of these things, like the government wouldn't even confirm that they existed for years. For years, they wouldn't even confirm that they existed. This shit is absolutely insane. Absolute F-35, F-22. Oh, you guys know what's going on. You guys absolutely know what's going on. These are some fucking insane jets. These are some insane jets. And they look like space. Like if you look at the F-22, it looks like a fucking spaceship. It literally looks like a spaceship. It looks like a spaceship. Like, holy shit. I will say the F-117, like, it looks like the F-117 is insane in design. Like, guys, like when you look at the F-117, we're literally probably looking at what the original ship, the alien ship looked like the 117. Let me see if I can get a picture, like show you guys the F-7. Like if you want to know what the original alien spacecraft probably looked like, it probably looked like the F-17. Let's see here. I don't know if this is the right picture for it. Let's see here. Come on. I don't know if this is the right picture to show you guys, but you can definitely Google it yourself. But let me see if I can. Cheers. Yeah, so that's This is the F-117. That's, guys, if you want to know what the alien spacecraft probably looked like, it probably looked like this. Like, this is probably an idea of what it looked like. Like, they probably modeled it. They likely modeled whatever they built off this fucking thing. Literally, which is for, guys, look at the designs. Look at how they designed it, guys. Like, look at the shaping of a lot of this. This doesn't look like something conceived on Earth. Look at the fucking design of this thing. This does not look like something conceived on Earth. Absolutely doesn't. All right, it looks like something from out of this world. Really, really does. Sigma says regarding modern women, 90% of women are sleeping with the top 10% of men in their 20s and trying to get married in their 30s. 100%. Brandon says that he's cool with the logo. Thanks for letting me know, Brandon. He says that 90% of men are invisible to women. They are chasing Chad and Tyrone unless they are on a foodie call. 100%. Sigma says fathers of daughters, arranged marriages has a failure rate of 1%. Secular marriages has a failure rate of about 50%. Yeah, it's amazing how it is absolutely amazing how low the failure rate is of arranged marriages. It truly is. Sigma says same-sex marriages for women, 75% end in divorce. Women are clearly the problem in the relationships. They absolutely are. Braden says, master angry. Women are high on their own delusion. And when they do OF, they get mad when they don't make six figures. Now that platform is cooked. No, it absolutely is. They basically don't realize that they've destroyed their names, they've destroyed their futures for like instant gratification in the present. Sigma says, women tell women to get a starter husband. Women are planning their divorce before they get married. Guys, I said this so many times. They plan the exit before they plan the entrance. Women are planning their divorce before they plan their wedding. Ninja says 304 is never learned. Let me see here. Yep. This is a good comment. This is absolutely true. The top richest women in the world get their wealth by divorce. Yeah. So statistically it shows that the wealthiest women in the world, I've read this already, still inherit their wealth. Sigma, I don't cook, I don't clean, I'm not your mother. I don't protect, I don't provide, I'm not your father. Damn right, bro. Damn right. Let me see here. This one is not good advice. I'll tell you why. Someone said, if you do find a woman to marry, it'd be a good idea to move your assets to your mom's name. I'll tell you why it's not a good idea. I thought about it and I just like, no, let me tell you something. I can't trust my mother. I can't trust my fucking mother. A lot of us can't. Guys, there's some of you pointed out, the first woman very often to hurt us is our mothers. We can't, American mothers, you cannot trust. Guys, when you hear stories about like some guy like Ronaldo putting all of his assets in his mom's name, that's because they come from a different culture. If your mother is an American woman or a woman from one of these cultures, you can't put your assets in her name. Those assets now become her assets. That becomes her retirement. Use your fucking heads, all right? Don't think the solution is basically to trust your mom, all right? Because you can't. You absolutely can't trust her. Can't fucking trust her. Let me see here. I was really enjoying talking about aliens. Gunfox says, angry, I'll do one better. Saturn V, 5, designed in the 1950s, and the OM, which was and still is better than anything NASA could come up with today. The OM could go into low lunar orbit and return. Yeah, these things were amazing. These things were amazing, like still broadcasting signals back like after 50, 60 years. Insane shit. Sigmund says, men don't babysit for a child. Don't babysit for a single mother or risk paying child support. Absolutely right. Sir Honey Badger says, actually, I'm not going to say where I work, but Lockheed Martin was not the first to make a stealth aircraft. It was actually the SS, and you could look it up. Okay, we'll go ahead and look this up. Who was Lockheed Martin? The first to make let me look this up. Make a stealth aircraft. Yeah, the Russians definitely have some good shit. Let me see here. It says, yes, Lockheed Martin, specifically its Advanced Development Project Division, known as Skunk Works, developed the F-117 Nighthawk, which was the world's first operational stealth aircraft. Huh. Okay, let me see something. I thought it was the Soviet Union who did it first. Let's check this out. Masking AI. It says, no, the Soviet Union did not develop a stealth aircraft for the United States. It could obviously be lying. While Soviet mathematicians Pyotr Ufimtsev laid crucial theoretical groundwork in the 1960s with his research on radar scattering, the U.S. was the first to successfully apply this science to build and deploy an operational stealth aircraft. The Soviet Union was aware of U.S. stealth efforts and began its own research, but it never fielded an operational stealth aircraft during the Cold War. Soviet projects like the MiG 1.4 and Sukhoi Su-47 incorporated some low observable features, but they were not true stealth aircraft. Russia's first operational stealth fighter, the Su-57, did not enter service until 2020. Guys, Russia's first operational stealth fighter did not enter service until 2020. Yeah, guys, something's really off. Something's really off. Yeah, they really had alien tech. They really got their hands on some alien tech. Holy fucking shit. 100% alien tech. Let me check this out here. Kind of curious what the Su thing looks like. Huh. And of course, it looks very much like the F-35. Like, was it the F-35? It looks very much like this is all reverse engineering. This is all reverse engineering. One group copying another. This is all reverse engineering. Holy shit. Gunfox says NASA can barely get into semi-lunar orbit. Yeah, it's absolutely, they can't go anywhere. NASA never went to the moon. NASA never went to the fucking moon. Ugh. Code 3 says, sorry, bro. F-117 was not stealth. The Russians knew when it flew overhead. It's just so fast they couldn't shoot. They couldn't take it down. The F-117 was the reason that Russia built the Foxbat. Ugh, Foxbat, Russia, Foxbat. Let me look this up. What's interesting is the Foxbat looks kind of like a stealth aircraft too. Let me see here. It's a supersonic. The Foxbat is a supersonic interceptor and reconnaissance aircraft. That is interesting. When did they build the Foxbat? Manufactured 1964 through 1984. Introduction date 1970. First flight was 1964, 62 years ago. That's interesting. That is interesting. And a lot of shit going on for a minute. Everyone has an opinion. Uh-huh. The K Grim says they reverse engineered UFOs. Yes, they did. Gunfox says, angry, that's not getting into how they are made. And some of the U.S. ground vehicles are not level. Angry, the F-117, a number of them are flying still. Real? They said that they were retired, but I wouldn't be surprised. You're probably right. Sigma says 71% of high school dropouts are from single mother homes. That is not a surprising statistic. Ninja says BRICS is circling around a global digital currency while the US petrodollar circling the fucking drain. BRICS is going to kick the shit out of America. I'm leaving the US when the digital economy runs. Yeah, I'm sick. I really want to get the fuck out of here. Ashley says 18 million women ages 18 through 25 are on OnlyFools. Yeah, they don't even realize how much they've destroyed their futures with doing that shit. Let me see here. Ashley says that they throw away their futures to sell butthole pics for $100 a month. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Gunfox says women nowadays get mad when you tell them no. No, you have to earn your dinner date. If we go out for a walk and a coffee. If we go out, it's for a walk and a coffee. If you're lucky, a sandwich and a cheap non-alcoholic drink. They get so mad. Yeah, they're full of shit. They don't even deserve that. They really don't even deserve that. Sigma says, angry is right. You can't trust your mother to protect your assets from a wife. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Let me see here. Gunfox says angry CEO YouTube was talking about the SR-71, not the F-117. Two different aircrafts. Ugh, gosh. That's one of the hard things with men. Men are so holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy fuck. So guys, if you want to know what the SR-71 looks like, Blackbird, This thing looks insane. Like, holy moly macaroni. Holy moly. Let me go ahead and remove that. And like this like holy shit. That looks like some alien fucking tech. That looks like some alien shit. Really looks like some fucking alien shit. Holy shit. Let me let's do a little research. Blackbird. Let's do a little research on that. Actually, all right. The Lockheed, so that's from Lockheed Martin, SR-71 Blackbird is a retired long-range, high-altitude strategic reconnaissance aircraft developed by the United States, recognized as the fastest air-breathing manned aircraft in history, designed by Lockheed Skunk, another one, Skunk Works, yeah, because they stink, on their Clarence Kelly Johnson. It was built primarily from titanium to withstand the extreme heat of sustained flights at Mach 3 plus speeds. Holy shit. Top speed. It holds the absolute speed record for air-breathing manned aircraft at 2,193 miles per hour, which is 3,529 kilometers per hour, set in July 1976. So this was actually, guys, they were doing Mach 3 in this fucking thing 50 fucking years ago. Literally 50 years ago. Okay, as of July of this year. 50 years ago. Holy shit. Let me see something. Developed from the A-12, it entered USAF, United States Air Force service in January 1966. I was retired in 1990. So they've been using this since 1966. So this thing definitely beats out the F-117. The F-117 is a fucking joke compared to this thing. It's a literal fucking joke compared to this thing. Holy shit. Yeah, guys, this thing, look at these designs. Like, even in modern day society, look at the aerodynamics of this. Who the hell would come up with this shit? These look like spacecrafts. Holy fucking shit. This is amazing. A total of 32 SR-71s were built. As of 2026, several remain in static display at museums, including Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum, the National Museum of the United States Air Force, and Evergreen Aviation Museum. No SR-71s remain in flying condition. Holy shit. Talk about the fucking technology, bro. Talk about the fucking technology that they have out there. Some crazy shit, man. Crazy fucking shit. Let me see here. Oh man, Uncle Angry needed a yawn. Yeah, gosh, you guys know your planes. Angry, the SR-71 is not the fastest plane. The XR-15 was, and it was so fast. Angry, the F-17 was made to enter radar A2/AD and hit HVT. HVT's SR-71 is a high altitude reconnaissance plane. It sounded like it was a high altitude. But so you're saying the X-15? Oh my gosh. I know too much about shit. Let me see here. Guys, these things were, guys, the X-15 was a hypersonic rocket-powered research aircraft operated by the U.S. Air Force and NASA from 1959 to 1968. Oh my God. So let me guess, this is one of the earliest prototypes from, like, one of the earlier prototypes from the, what do you call those things, from the UFO US UFO wreckage. Doesn't really look like anything special, to be honest. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me see here. Let me see here. Got poor Uncle Angry in his old age doing all this work for you guys. All this fucking work for you guys. Let me see here. Okay, there we go. So that's the X15. That's the X15. That's the X15. It served as a critical bridge between atmospheric flight and space flight, providing essential data that influenced the design of the Mercury, Gemini, Apollo, and space shuttle programs. Holy shit, you were right. You were literally right. The X-15 holds the official world record for the highest speed achieved by a crewed-powered aircraft, reaching Mach 6.7. Guys, they reached Mach 6.7 in this thing back in 1959. Was it 1959? They built this in 1959. 1959, and this thing reached almost Mach 7, Mach 6.7. It reached almost Mach 7. Mach 7, Jesus. What the living hell is going on here? We didn't even stop to talk, like none of us, like, we didn't even ask questions like where the fuck did this even come from? We just all just basically accepted everything we were fucking told. Like, they did this shit, guys, almost 70 years ago. They reached Mach 7. 70 years ago. 70. And they reached Mach 7, and yet most of the planes that we have today can barely even fly at the speed of sound. They fly below the speed of sound. Don't forget that we used to have the Concorde, which was a supersonic aircraft that could basically take you from New York to London in a few hours. Actually, let me see. How fast did the Concorde travel from New York to London? It was actually a very safe vehicle too. There was some stupid shit that happened. Yeah, it typically could complete the flight from New York to London in approximately 3.5 hours, cutting the transatlantic travel time by more than half compared to the subsonic jets, which take around 7 to 8 hours. The fastest ever commercial transatlantic crossing was set on February 7, 1996, when a British Airways Concorde flew from New York to London in 2 hours, 52 minutes, and 59 seconds, aided by a strong tailwind. Man, bro, I tell y'all. And the aircraft typically cruised at Mach 2. Mach 2. Holy shit. Mach 2? Fuck. By comparison, modern subsonic flights on the same route currently take about 7 hours, though extreme jet streams have allowed a Boeing 747 to complete the trip in 4 hours and 56 minutes. A subsonic record. Ugh. Sigma says, I have a few minutes before I have to go. The show is when women can't stop blaming men, shame, insults, guilt, accusing, and needing to be right. Accountability is kryptonite for women. 100%. Let me see here. Holy shit. Let me see here. Let me read the comments. Gun Fox says angry. There was two different versions of the A12 and the SR71. Now there's an SR72 that is better than the SR71, or the rumors say. Oh wow. Yeah, that's very, very surprising. That's very, very surprising. Very, very surprising. So yeah, I mean, guys, you have to really be careful out there right now. You have to be really, really careful. Very, very surprising shit. Ashley says they could take pictures at Mach 3 in the 60s, but we didn't get camera phones until the 2000. Yeah, guys, look at this comment. Ashley says they could take pictures at Mach 3 in the 60s. They could take pictures at Mach 3 in the 60s, but we didn't get camera phones until the 2000s. It's a, and I know that they actually like sent these space shuttles to like these probes to like Voyager or some shit to like Mars a long time ago, and they took like sent back like shots as well. Yeah, guys, none of this shit adds up. We've been so busy listening to the bullshit. Kay says it's fallen angel tech. Yeah, bro, I don't know about that. If this whole guys, bro, it's literal aliens. It's literal aliens. Kay says angels are immortal. Think how smart you would be. They don't have a physical form like that. I don't think. I don't know. Gunfox says that the X-15 went so fast it melted itself, so it could not go as fast as it could because it would break. Yeah, wow, I didn't know that. So basically, they did not. Basically, the material that they used and the aerodynamics, the material that they used could not sustain that speed, which tells us that guys, we probably can travel through space much faster than they're letting on. Much faster, and they'll never. Guys, they want to basically their goal right now is to start basically mining planets, like going to different planets, mining for resources, and then maybe like 100 years after they're doing that, we'll find out. They want to go around and basically take over the entire solar system and own it. Because guys, it's like Earth is not enough for them. They have to own everything. They have to own every planet, every star, everything, every fucking thing. So of course we're not going to know about any of this. Why do you think Elon wants to go to Mars so bad? Why do you think Elon wants to go to Mars so bad? He wants to claim Mars for himself. Brad says, didn't women design the Concorde? I doubt that. Let me see here. Ninja says anti-gravitational field technologies are possible. It comes down to positive gravitational divergence fields. UFO technologies are top secreted, patented government technologies. Yep, patented, 100%. Sir says the military always had tech before everyone else. Look at CDs and MP3s. Yeah, that is true. That is true. 100%. You're not wrong about that. Not wrong about that whatsoever. Yeah, this is a strange world we live in. Let me see here. Don Fox says Ashy and the photos, you could almost count the blades of grass in them and read vehicle numbers and plates. Yeah, they were taking pictures. Like you could take pictures from a Mach 3 at that period, and like it took this long for us to get camera phones. You're 100% right. Like they keep everything for themselves. Ashley says they can do all that, but they can't fix the roads. Yeah, they got to keep us. They got to keep everything fucked up so that we believe that we have to keep working for something. It's a load of bullshit. Load of bullshit. But anyway, guys, women can't stop blaming men. They're never gonna stop blaming us because it's like perpetual children. We just have to walk away, focus on ourselves, on happiness, and not put up with this shit anymore. But guys, did you enjoy this Angry in the Morning stream? Let me know. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.